Lisa. In this 30-minute yoga class, we'll be focusing on hip opening. So let's begin on our backs. Come down onto your mat with your knees bent. Bring your knees together and walk your feet as wide as your mat. Relax your arms out to the side, let your eyes close. Take a breath in through your nose. And then exhale slowly out the mouth. Another breath in through the nose. And exhale, long, slow exhale out the mouth. And from there, the lips will gently seal. And we'll begin to breathe in and out just through the nose. So as you're letting go of whatever you've been involved with so far today, bringing your focus inward, begin to find that connection with your breath. Just observe the flow of breath in and out through the nostrils. Sense the rise and fall of your chest in sync with your breath. Feel your belly expand as you inhale and gently contract as you exhale. Begin to gradually deepen and lengthen your breath, also making the breath audible as you inhale and as you exhale. So while connecting with your breath, just take a scan of your body. Notice anything present at the start of practice, any areas where you're feeling tension or gripping, areas where you're already feeling a sense of relaxation, of ease. Just observe without judgment. Now staying connected with the flow of breath in and out through the nostrils as we begin to add some movement. Just gently rock your head a few times from side to side, letting some tension ease from your neck. And then pausing with your head in a neutral position, drop both of your knees over to your right side. Lift them up through center and drop them over to your left side. So just take a few rounds of windshield wipers, rocking the knees from side to side, letting tension ease from the hips and the low back. And the next time that both of your knees are on your right side, pause there. Stretch your left arm overhead with your palm facing up toward the ceiling. You might place your right palm against your right thigh. Reach back through your left fingers and reach forward through your left knee. Breathe into the left side body. Just feeling it all the way down into the psoas muscle, the hip flexors. Then you might want to go a little deeper, lifting your right foot and placing the outer edge of your right foot on your left thigh, just above the knee, and gently applying the amount of pressure that you need to give yourself a nice stretch along the whole left side body. Just take one more full breath in and stay for the exhale. And release your left hand down and rock your knees now over to the left side. From here, reach your right arm up and back behind you, palm facing up, and gently place the left hand toward the inner left thigh. Reach back through your right fingers and reach forward through your right knee. Let's breathe into the right side body. If you want to go a little deeper, again, you've got the option of lifting up the left foot and placing the outer left foot on the right thigh, gently applying pressure, giving yourself the stretch that your body needs on this side at this time. We'll take another full breath and releasing the exhale here. And then bringing your right hand back down and bringing your legs back to neutral. Walk your feet back in line with your hips. Place your palms face down on your mat. Breathe in, soles of the feet root to the mat, and lift the hips up into a bridge pose. Exhale and just tap your sacrum down. Inhale, lift up and exhale, lower back down. Inhale, as you lift up, reach your arms overhead, and exhale, everything comes back to the mat. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower, and pause. Now bending at your elbows, bringing your hands and forearms up. Press the backs of the arms into the mat, the shoulder blades into the mat, soles of the feet into the mat. Inhale and lift up into your bridge. We're holding here. So notice your inner thighs. Can you spiral them in toward one another and down toward the mat? Your knees stay in line with your hips. Root the heels into the mat. Reach the tailbone toward the back so the knees roll the chest up toward the chin. You're pressing the tops of the shoulders and backs of the arms into the mat as you reach out through the crown of the head. Feel that lengthening along the whole front body. Big breath in. And exhale slowly. First the upper back, and then the mid back, the low back, and finally the sacrum. And from here, just bring your hands to your thighs, your fingers pointing toward your knees, and press your palms against your thighs. Feel a lengthening in your low back. And exhale, release one more time. Inhale, press the palms into the thighs, and exhale, release. Now bring your right knee into your chest and cross your right ankle past your left knee. Flex your right toes. Place your right palm against your right thigh and gently push that thigh away from you and then release. Inhale, push the thigh away from you and exhale, release. One more. Inhale, press and resist back with the thigh. And exhale, release. From here, coming into a thread the needle. So lifting up your left foot, taking hold of either the front of your left shin or the back of your left thigh. Guide that in toward your chest. As your right hip is opening away from you, maybe your elbow assists you with that. And just breathe into that right outer hip area. As you inhale, fill it with breath. And as you exhale, just notice a little bit of the tension leaving with your exhale. Let's check on the muscles of the face and the jaw and the throat. Relax all of those. Feel your shoulders sinking into the mat and your tailbone heavy, reaching into the mat. Let's take another big breath. Stay for the exhale. Now keep your legs just the way they are. Stretch your arms out shoulder height with your palms facing up. Breathe in, and as you exhale, rock over to your left. Your right sole of the foot comes onto the floor outside your mat. You might turn your head to the right if that's comfortable on your neck. Otherwise, you're just looking up at the ceiling if that feels better in your body at this time. So notice both shoulders completely relaxed on the mat. And breathe into that right side body, revolving your rib cage to the right as your knee is pointing toward the left. Let's take a big breath into the heart center. Exhale out the fingertips, and then we'll inhale and come back. Uncross, place one hand on each kneecap and just take a few circles, circling the knees in opposite directions, lubricating the hip joint. Then reverse your direction, go other way. And then we'll pause. Set the right foot down and cross the left ankle past the right knee. Flex the left toes, pressing your left palm against your left thigh. Gently press it away from you. You're resisting back with the thigh, and then release it. Inhale, press the left hip open, and exhale, release one more time. Inhale, press the palm into the thigh, resist back with the thigh, and exhale, release. Now moving into thread the needle, lift the right foot, take hold of either the front of your shin or the back of your thigh, whichever feels best to you. Guide that right thigh in toward your chest as your left hip is opening away from you. Your elbow can help you there. Once again, just check if you're tensing or gripping anywhere. Can you send some breath there and invite release? And as you inhale, you're filling now your left hip with breath. And as you exhale, allow some of that tightness, that tension to leave with your breath. And take one more full breath. And then stretch the arms out, shoulder height, the palms face up. Breathe in, and as you exhale, come over to the right side. Left sole of the foot comes to the floor outside of your mat. And again, you've got the option to turn your head in the opposite direction or to look up at the ceiling. See what feels best on your neck. So let the shoulders soften into the mat. And notice the left rib cage revolving toward the left side of the mat as your knee is pointing toward the right side. And your next inhale will lift you back up. Exhale, uncross. Now knees together, one hand on each kneecap, and circle the knees in the same direction. And then reverse, go the other way. Pause, and from here we'll cross the right knee over the left. And then you'll take hold of outside edges of the feet if that works for you. Otherwise, just somewhere along your calves that you're able to reach. Could be your heels, could be your ankles, could be your calves. So wherever you can reach, grab that and lift your shins to be as parallel to the mat as you can get them. And gently guide the legs or the feet, whichever you're holding, in opposite directions. At the same time, press your tailbone down into the mat and soften the shoulders into the support of the mat. Breathe into your outer right hip. You might want to go a little deeper, and if that's for you, then you'll gently draw your feet up toward your shoulders, bringing your thighs a little closer to your torso, and then press your tailbone down again. Breathe into that right hip glute area. And begin to just take a little gentle rock from side to side. And then release that side, uncross and switch now left knee over the right. Take hold of either outside edges of the feet or somewhere along the legs. Lift the shins so they're parallel-ish to the mat. And then begin to guide the feet or legs in opposite directions. Now we're working with the left hip. Breathe into that left hip. And if you want to go a little deeper on this side, notice that your hips might not be equal. Most likely one is more tight than the other, so you may not want to go deeper on this side, or this might be your side that's more open. But anyway, you might draw your feet a little closer to your shoulders and then press your tailbone down again, getting a little deeper into the left outer hip area. Breathe. And then we'll gently release that side, hug the knees into the chest and rock side to side a couple times. Then cross one ankle over the other, rock along your spine a few times until you've got the momentum to come all the way up and into a tabletop. Alternatively, just roll to your side and meet in a tabletop shape. From here, shoulders over the wrist, fingers spread wide, and hips are over the knees, toes point back. Few cat-cows. Inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, reach the heart forward, gaze forward. Exhale, continue gazing forward, tuck the tailbone, hug the belly in, round the back, and then draw the chin to the chest finally. Inhale, arch, unravel from base of the spine to the crown of the head, and exhale, tuck and round as you press the floor away. continue for a few rounds on your own, just waking up the spine, getting a little bit of motion there. And then we'll pause back in our neutral tabletop shape. From here, curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and press back into downward facing dog. So you might bend into one knee and reach the opposite heel to the mat, and then switch sides, bending the other knee and reaching the opposite heel to the mat. It's moving a little bit as it comes natural to you in your first downward dog of this practice. Check on what's touching the mat, your fingers spread wide, palms pressing into the mat. The upper arms hugging in toward one another, triceps spinning back, biceps spinning up. Navel drawing in toward the spine, balls of the feet pressing into the mat, heels reaching back and down. Then from here, we'll breathe in, lift your right leg, bend your knee, stack your right hip over your left. And from there, just take a few circles of the ankle. Keep pressing equally through both palms and reverse the direction that you're circling. And then we'll straighten out your right leg, toes point down, breathe in. Exhale, knee to your nose, look forward, step your right foot by your right thumb, release your left knee down, flatten the top of the foot against the mat. And as you inhale, rise up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So from here, we're pressing that right heel into the mat and top of the left shin, foot, and knee pressing into the mat. Frontal hip points drawing toward bottom ribs. The chest is lifted, shoulders relaxed. Breathe in, reach up through the fingertips, get long in the side body. Breathe especially into that left front of the hip flexor area on the left side. Reach up, breathe in, and exhale, both hands coming down to the mat. Now take your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Turn your foot to the right and roll to the outside edge. Curl the toes up toward the knee. So you have options here. You can either stay right where you are, or you might lower down to your forearms, or you can use a block or some other prop and do a halfway version, bringing the forearms onto the block. We're breathing into that left hip flexor area, front of the left hip, and right hip groin area, just allowing those areas to release with your breath. And if you want to get a little deeper into the front of the left hip, you can bend your left knee and lift your foot and leg off the mat. That'll already make it a little more intense on that left side. Should you want to go deeper still, reach back with your right hand. Take hold of the top of your left foot. You're gazing past your right shoulder, opening across the chest. Take a full breath in wherever you are. Stay for the exhale. And then release. Bring your palms back to the mat if you've lowered. And from here, we're going to curl the left toes under, step your right leg back, and you're back in downward facing dog. Just readjust your stance so that your feet are hip distance, your palms are shoulder distance. Then breathing in, your left leg lifts, bend your knees, stack your left hip over your right, keep pressing equally through both palms, and rotate the left ankle. Just a few times in one direction, and then a few times in the other direction. Re-straighten out your left leg, toes point down, breathe in. Exhale, knee to your nose, look forward, step your left foot by your left thumb, release your right knee down and uncurl the toes. As you're ready, root the left heel into the mat and rise up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So we're working on lifting up through the rib cage, but at the same time softening the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. The core is engaged and active, frontal hip points drawing toward bottom ribs, and the tailbone just slightly descending down. Take a breath in, reach up through the ring fingers. Exhale, Bring your hands down inside of your left foot. From here, you're gonna turn your left foot to the left, roll to the outside edge, curl your toes up toward your knee. So again, you've got the same options as the other side, but your hips might not be the same. So you may do something different on this side. You can stay right where you are, or you can go lower, either using a prop for a halfway version or directly down to the mat on the forearms. So we're breathing now into that left hip groin area and front of the right hip, the hip flexors on the right side. And if you want to go deeper on that right side, you'll bend your knee and lift up the lower leg and the foot. That already is going to take it pretty deep into the right hip flexor area. You want to go a little deeper still. Reach back with your left hand, take hold of the top of your right foot, and open the chest up toward the ceiling. At the same time, you're pressing your shin back and resisting with the hand against the foot. Big breath in, feel your shoulder blades come together on your back. Collarbones spread across the chest. And exhale, release, bring the palms to the mat and curl the right toes under, step your left leg back, and you're back in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. And from here, bend your knees, look forward as you inhale, exhale, and step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift the chest, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. And exhale, hands together at heart center. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastitihi. Two more half sun salutations. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Inhale, arm circle. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And this time, exhale, bend your knees, place your palms, step back to a high plank, shoulders over the wrist, belly drawing in. Breathe in, shift slightly forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower down to the mat. Inhale, flatten tops of the feet against the mat. Head, neck, and chest lift for a low cobra. Exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips up, and press back to downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend your knee, slide your shin forward. Bring your right foot over to the left side of your mat. Release your left knee down. Flatten out the top of the left foot, then release the right shin down. You're walking your left leg straight back in line with your hip. Come onto your fingertips. Inhale, arch back. And exhale, release forward into pigeon pose. So this is a big hip opener. Breathe into that right outer hip area, piriformis muscle especially. And you want a little bit of weight onto your left thigh, so your pelvis is in a more neutral position. So find a comfortable spot to rest your head, maybe on a block or a pillow, or maybe just forming a pillow with your hands and resting forehead against the hands. Breathe into that right hip. And then we'll slowly begin to lift back up. Come to the palms, curl the left toes under, step your right leg back to downward facing dog, or you have the option to take a vinyasa on the way to Adho Mukha Svanasana. We meet in down dog, ready to set up the left side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Bend your knees, slide your shin forward, left foot to the right side of the mat. Now release your right shin down, flatten your right foot, and then release your left shin down, walk your right leg back. Inhale, come to the fingertips, arch back, and exhale, release into pigeon pose, finding again a comfortable spot to rest the head. And notice your weight shifting a little bit onto that right thigh, not just sitting all the way onto the left butt cheek. This keeps the pelvis in a more neutral position. Breathe into your left hip. With your next inhale, begin to press yourself up. Sit onto your left hip and swing your right leg around, bringing the soles of the feet together. You're going to walk your feet further away from you so that you've got a large diamond shape. We're working outer hips this way. So sitting up nice and tall, bring the palms alongside of the hips, press them into the mat, lift the sternum, and relax the shoulders away from the ears. And you have options, either stay upright like this, or you might begin to hinge forward, bringing your hands around the ankles and any amount coming forward. If you want to go deeper still, you can slide one arm under the knee, slide other arm under the knee, walk your arms out to the side, and release the forehead toward the feet, any amount that works in your body. Breathing into the outer hips, maybe there's some low back sensation as well. And then next inhale, bring yourself back up, undo if you've done the bind. From here, we're bringing the feet in close for Baddha Konasana. Begin as we did just now with the hands alongside of the hips. Inhale, long spine. Either you're staying here upright, breathing and allowing the breath to release the inner thighs, or you might bring hands to the ankles and then begin to hinge forward, optionally pressing elbows to the inner thighs. That is working for you and you still want to go deeper, you might walk your hands out in front of you and release the forehead toward the earth. So there's many options. Be where your body needs you to be at this time. Now we're breathing into the inner hips, inner thighs. One more full breath. And then slowly walk yourself up. Bring a hand to the outside of each knee and draw the knees in toward one another. From here, we're just going to lower down onto our back. Your feet are hip distance. Extend your arms out. Lift your sternum. Breathe in. As you exhale, draw your navel toward your spine. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, come all the way down onto your back. Once you're down, bring knees to the chest and rock gently from side to side. And from here, stretch your arms out, shoulder height with your palms facing up. Breathe in, and as you exhale, drop both knees over to your left. Turn your head to the right if that's okay with your neck. Otherwise, just look up at the ceiling. Soften the shoulders into the mat. On an inhale, look back up. And exhale over to the right side, optionally turning the head to the left. And then inhale again, back to center. From here, take hold of outside edges of the feet for happy baby. Draw the knees alongside of the rib cage If outside edges of the feet isn't feeling good in your body, grab the backs of the thighs, and from that position, draw the knees alongside of the rib cage. You can gently rock from side to side. And then we'll go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around your shins, lift your forehead up toward your knees, squeeze everything into a tight little ball. Take a big breath in, and exhale, let it all go into Shavasana. Allow your eyes to close, wiggle one shoulder then the other under you. Relax your feet. Notice the fingers gently curling in toward the palms. Take a breath in through your nose. And exhale, release out the mouth. Just invite each muscle to let go of tension, to soften. Focusing on those areas where we tend to tense and grip a little bit more, so around the eyes, the jaw, the throat. With each exhale, feel the shoulders and the hips sinking a little bit deeper into the support below them. Observe the gentle flow of breath in the front body as you rest in Shavasana. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Hopefully your hips are feeling a little bit happier. Namaste.